Hi, it's Sunday afternoon here at Cedar Street, and we're going to go talk to Gail from Zona Design. And Gail is a glass artist, and this is just outside of her studio. And she's the gal with the pink door. So these are some pictures of some of her works. So if you were to poke around the studio and she wasn't here, you could certainly be inspired to want to pay her a visit when she is here. So, and here's Gail.
Hey.
Hey, Gail. How are you today?
Hey, Tracy. How you doing?
Good. So this is Gail, and she's going to kind of introduce you with a little bit about the work that she does.
Yeah, so we're looking at some Pandora-style charms now. I do glass. I also do metal. And one of the things I started doing a couple of years ago on a chance remark from a friend was, hey, you do glass, you ought to be able to do those Pandora charms. So it took me a little while, but I started working on them, and I've really come up with some really nice ones, I think. I think they're very pretty and very colorful.
They are colorful, and what's kind of neat, I mean, you've got a beautiful range of color, and then you have stuff that's very specific to holidays.
Yes, we've got some little candies here, like the little candies, heart candies, and then some holly as well. Yeah, I like to do things for the holidays. These are some fall things, acorns and mushrooms.
Yes, I believe if you look, I've got my acorn earrings on that you designed.
Yes, you do, actually.
I do.
Acorns
I love them.
are very popular in the fall. I do them every year.
Yeah, no, what's really nice is, what I love about jewelry is I think of it as wearable art. And
exactly.
that's a big thing to me. As much as I like beauty and function, the fact that I can wear art is just a wonderful thing.
Well, it makes it more special. It's very fun.
It does. Well, let's take a poke around your studio. So
Sure.
she's got beautiful light. This is a beautiful working space. Gail told me she's getting ready for a show. So
pardon the mess, because everything's getting boxed up for a show tomorrow.
So, oh my God, this drew me right in. Oh, all of the colors. So, what's all this stuff here?
This is how it all started. I was making jewelry and just kind of having fun, but I couldn't find the colors that I wanted. And I got a chance flyer in the mail for Diablo Glass School. I'll give them a plug because they're fabulous. And I took a weekend course and I was absolutely hooked. So, you just can't have enough glass when you're in glass. I use what they call soft glass, which means I get all of these different colors. So I have transparent colors like that transparent pink. I have opaque colors like this fabulous opaque blue. And then there's some colors that are kind of in between, like this kind of opalescent color. So you can really do some interesting things with them. I recently did a whole bunch of things with these little opalescent colors. It looks like Italian ices, I call them, because they just look like the ice creams. But you could just have tons and tons of fun. I have all sorts of colors that make a little shine and everything, so I'm having a good time. So you can see down here, if you look at the table, this red thing, that's my torch. That's usually lit with natural gas and then oxygen. You can see this whopping tank of oxygen I have here. I have to heat the flame up to 2,000 degrees to melt the glass. And so the way the thing usually works is I've got a mandrel, a steel mandrel in my left hand, and it's coated with some clay to keep the glass from sticking. And then I'm melting the end of the glass here at my right hand. And the thing is, you have to keep moving, because once the glass starts melting, it's like honey. It always moves. So I learned really how to be ambidextrous with this whole thing.
I guess so.
More than I was before. So yeah, I've got one thing happening in my left hand, one thing happening in my right. So,
interesting.
So that was kind of fun. And then when I'm done with the bead, then I also have a kiln. There's some other people in the building that have a kiln. And I put the bead in there, and that's usually at 1,000 degrees. So it starts at 2,000 when I melt it. And then I anneal it, they call it, for 1,000 degrees. And that tempers it, so that you can really drop these beads on the pavement and they don't break. That's pretty amazing.
Yes, my earrings have hit the ground more than one occasion when I'm putting them on. And I love the fact that I love glass jewelry. I am a big fan of it, and I love Gail's work. And what's really exciting for me is that it is so durable. and it's functional, it's beautiful, and trust me, if it survives me, it could survive anybody.
So I'm glad to know that. The first time I dropped the beads on the pavement at a street fair, I was horrified, but they survived, and I thought, well, I guess that annealing really does work. So if we pan around, then I've got my metalworking table here. I do both the glass and the metal work. So these are all sorts of little devices. I've got a little flex shaft here. You can see I've got 1,001 heads that I use. This one here is actually for, I'm in the middle of making a bunch of earrings, and it's to smooth the little end on the earring so it won't poke your ear when you go in. So I've got, like I say, a whole bunch of these things that I use for all these different purposes. It's just a collection that's grown up over the years. Funny story about this. So this thing is called a flex shaft, and I can use it like this. It's got a pedal on the floor, so then I can control it with the pedal. So a good friend of mine who's a woodworker came to see me at the studio, and he came up and he looked at this thing and he said, "I don't know what that is, but I have to have one."
Oh.
He just thought it was so cool. So
It is cool.
So I've got, again, more tools for shaping and working with metal. When I make the charms, they all start off like this. Those are the actual little glass beads. So I make the glass bead first with the big hole in the middle, and then I have to make the little collars that go on there, and I have to cut some tubing, and then I hammer it all together. Sounds simple. It actually takes a little bit longer than that. There's about 25 steps in each one of those things.
Yeah,
but
it's interesting to know that something that is so beautiful and so small that you're going to add to a bracelet around your wrist, what actually goes into the
how do you
get there? You look at it and say, "Oh my God, it's a beautiful little bead and I love it," but to actually go through and make it, design it, make it, and get to the
put it all
product.
together. So that's a metalworking table, and then if we flip around behind, this is my design table. Like I say, I'm in the middle of getting ready for a show, and what you see are earrings that I'm in the middle of here. So I kind of pile them all up. I make all my own hooks because I just like doing it all myself, so you get something interesting looking. These are kind of cool. I just in the middle of making these guys. So when they're done, they'll
almost
hang
like a
very
musical
nicely.
note.
A little bit like that. It's like the treble clef or whatever that is.
Yes, whatever that is.
Treble, bass clef, whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah, so my most recent beads are these. I call them wild and shiny beads. It's a special kind of glass, so when I fire it the second time, I get all that shine. But it's just really cool effects you can get. So I've been having a good time playing around with
They're
those
almost
things.
There's like an iridescence.
Yeah, there is like an
to them.
iridescence. Yeah,
They are neat.
They're really cool. Here's another example. I don't know if you can see that. It's black. I don't know if it's going to pick it up, but they just do such fabulous colors.
You've got a lot of nice shapes too, which is great. It shows a nice range of work.
That's true. I mean, so here's a triangle one that I just thought was pretty cool. It looks, I don't know, I can't decide what that looks like, but it's that iridescent. It shines purple one way, blue another way, green another way. But it's just kind of fun. So I'm going to make bracelets out of these. I'm doing a lot of chainmail kinds of stuff like that. So I really like when you kind of bulk the silver up. So doing that kind of thing. So something like that, I think will look pretty good.
If you notice, this area has there's a lot of brightness here because obviously this looks like it's very detailed. So you've got to have a nice bright lamp.
It is. Well, I've got all these lights that are actually daylight color, so I can get the true colors, so I can see what's
Different
going on.
metals. Lovely. Let's go over and see some of Gail's work.
Yeah, so I'm actually getting ready. I've got 2 shows coming up, which is kind of crazy. So this is in preparation for the Newburyport Art Association holiday show. And so I'll be showing these pieces of work.
These are the top row are necklaces that are suspended on silver chains.
Yeah, these are all silver. And so this is some more of that wild and shiny stuff that I was talking about earlier. You can kind of see how that works. These happen to be kind of simple designs. I do combinations of simple and more complex, but I kind of like the simplicity of all these guys.
Ooh, and this looks like a set almost.
It is like a set. So these are the sand and sea beads. They were inspired by a trip to the Caribbean. I just fell in love with the color of that water, and I worked for 2-3 months to try to get the right colors in those beads. And so that's silver foil actually beneath the transparent glass to kind of give it that shimmer and shine.
That's a really pretty bracelet, and I'm not sure how much you could see ultimately on the video, but the colors, yeah, it does. You do feel like you're maybe at the beach in the Caribbean.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. The interesting thing too, so like with these earrings, because there's silver in them, they reflect off your face, and they give you this kind of fabulous glow. That's kind of an interesting sidelight. So anytime you get silver earrings with the different colors, they will reflect off your face and make it and just give it a nice glow.
Very nice.
So then, so all these are all these various things that I've been working on, getting ready.